Hey everyone, Dom here, and in this episode of Cubase Secrets, I'm going to show you 2 hacks to make song choruses instantly more exciting. If you follow this, your listeners will know when the big chorus arrives. Let's get started. The first hack that I'm going to show you today is something that has been around for a while, and this is a tempo change. It's as simple as that. It's just a simple tempo change. So this was something that many producers used to use back in the day and even today, but these days it's a little bit more uncommon. Basically, this hack involves you raising the tempo of your track by, let's say, 1 BPM in the choruses. This makes the chorus feel a little bit more uplifting, a little bit more exciting. And the listener doesn't really know why it feels this way. This is, of course, something that live musicians do all the time when they get to the chorus. Sometimes instinctively, they just go a tiny bit faster, not too much. So we're going to emulate this in Cubase. And in order to do this, we need 2 things. We need musical mode and we need our tempo track. So as you can see here, I have my tempo track enabled. And of course, if you want to do this, you can just add it by hitting plus, more tracks, and make sure you add a tempo track. So in this project, of course, I've done it already. If your project consists of MIDI parts and MIDI events, then you don't really have to do anything. This is going to be super simple. But I'm going to show you how you can do this even if your project has audio events that have been recorded on the same tempo. So in this case, I have this track. It's at 160 BPM. So you see we have the pre-chorus and then the chorus. So I want to change the tempo when the chorus comes in. I want to first make sure that all my channels are in musical mode. So see right here we have this note icon. So this is musical mode versus linear mode. I want to make sure that all my channels follow the musical mode. So everything is with this note icon. If you don't see this icon, you click on this cogwheel right here and you make sure that your toggle time base is in the visible controls. So if it's here in the hidden controls, make sure you add it to the visible controls. And of course, if you want, you can move it around like everything in Cubase. So that's the first step. The next thing I want to do is I want to make sure that all my audio events are going to be following the tempo. In order to do this, I'm going to go to Media and I'm going to open the pull window or just hit Command or Control P. And if you've recorded all of these things into your project, everything should be already ready to go, but I just want to cover you in case you have received material from other DAWs or if you have just imported audio. So right here, what we need to do is we need to make sure we select all our audio events. Make sure that the tempo matches the tempo of your song. So in this case, we are at 160 BPM. So I'm going to click on one of them, type 160, and you can see that they all change. And then I'm going to activate musical mode. This means that whatever I do now with my tempo, all these audio events are going to follow. So let me show you. For example, we have 160 BPM here. In this place. But if I change my tempo track and make it super slow, in this place, with a heart erase, feelings on display. So now whatever tempo we select, all these audio files are going to follow. And that means that they're going to follow even small tempo changes. So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to go here to my chorus and I'm going to add a point here, exactly at bar 44 where my chorus starts, and I'm going to set this, instead of 160 BPM, I'm going to type 161. This is all we need. You shouldn't make it so obvious, go to let's say 164 BPM or 165 or 170 because that's going to be very noticeable. We just need to add 1 BPM to the tempo so that we uplift the energy. It's such a small difference, but trust me, this brings up the energy. It really lifts the chorus up. And this is something that you can do if you feel that your chorus is not hitting hard enough. Now, the next thing that I want to show you is the widening trick. And this is something that I would normally do for individual tracks, but I'm going to show you the workflow here, and then you can apply it to all the different tracks. I would usually apply this to synths, to guitars, or something like this, but what I'm going to do now in order to show you this very quickly is I'm going to go to my master bus and I'm going to add the Imager plugin right here. So what I'm going to do in this case is I'm going to go here to my chorus and I'm going to automate it so that when the chorus comes in, I'm going to just add a little bit of width to the top end, the high mids, and a tiny bit of the low mids as well. So I'm going to keep it at 100%, and sometimes I might even reduce the width, just so I can make the contrast even more obvious. So I'm going to start with, let's say, 95% in the verses, and then in the choruses we're going to add a little bit of width. And the way I like to do this is I like to activate my right automation, set a loop right here, and then we're going to automate them. So I just touch the parameters so that they reveal themselves, and now what I'm going to do is I'm going to be very, very precise, and I'm going to change this. So I'm going to remove all these points that I've added here, see, like that. And now I'm going to be a little bit more precise. I'm going to make sure that they're all like maybe around 110, something like this. And if I want to be even more precise, 110, there we go. I'm going to select this point here, 110, and the same thing here. And now let's listen to it. And this is very subtle, but you can go a little bit more if you want to, so I can just push it up a little bit more. Let me go like this, 120, and this will exaggerate it, but I always like to remain in a subtle kind of territory. I don't want this to scream like we did something there. See how it explodes when we get to this point, and that's because we've added 1 BPM of tempo change and also this widening that's going on. So like I said, this you can of course do in the stereo out if you want to in your master bus, but what I like to do when I'm mixing is I like to use it on the separate buses. So I might use it on the synths, I might use it on the guitars, I might use it on the vocal effects. If I have delays that go left and right, I might add it there, but maybe I'm not going to use it on other things that I want to keep their integrity. So now this is like the fast way of doing this, and of course you can do this, but don't overspread things, right? Always keep it subtle, always keep it tasteful. So there you go, try it on your latest project, and I will see you on the next video. Bye-bye.